Yeah, we got some new folks. This is great, by the way. Congratulations. By the way, just play a ton. Like, yeah. Best thing.
So I'm thinking we should actually
just play a regular game and
play like a normal game and talk more.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Okay.
And we're going to try to give you our innermost thoughts and secrets.
Well, at least the ones that can say out loud. Make you a handsome man.
This is already going better than I expected.
All right, moving right along.
All right, should we do a 13 or 19?
Probably 13, I think, because that way we can get through. There'll be a bunch of questions about the end of the game, and I mean, how many people have played a full game all the way through? Oh, that's great, actually. How many people were sure that they ended it correctly and counted it all right?
I mean, I played online, so.
Okay, got it.
So you don't know what you're doing.
Got it. Well, I still kind of feel like a 13 by 13 is probably better though, because we'll have that chance. But I gotta know, is there gonna be Comey for white?
No,
Of course. Okay.
Yeah. The question is how much Comey?
6.5. I have no idea what the right Comey is for that.
I don't either.
I think it's 5.5.
I think that's, I've seen it 5.5.
Hey
I'm not sure
Dan,
if that's correct or not.
what's the right Comey for a 13 by 13 game?
I don't know. Shit.
Was it the same?
Yeah.
So 6.5.
Let's say 5.5.
Here, we'll do it. We'll pick for white.
We'll pick for white?
Yeah, we'll do the nigiri.
We're doing nigiri?
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
So I've got the rice ball.
right.
Means rice ball.
I always get this right.
You have a disturbingly good track record. He has chosen odd and it is indeed odd. I won the game.
I'm black.
Okay.
All right. So we're just gonna play a game of Go. We're gonna tell you what we're thinking.
And I guess you guys should stop and ask us anytime you have any question.
This is
for you guys. So like this is really,
all right. So we're on a 13 by 13 board.
Right.
Generally want to play the corners first.
Right.
I could play a 4/4 stone. That's like a pretty standard opening. You guys have probably seen a 19 by 19 a lot. The board's a little bit smaller. I'm feeling a little bit more like I should be gravitated towards the corners. So I don't really want to play a 4/4. I think we're gonna start with a 3/4.
Actually, here's a fun little bit of trivia. Do you guys know why we play on a 19 by 19?
No?
Okay, because do you know why we play on a 19 by 19?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, just so that I can explain it anyway. So, have you guys heard about the third line and the fourth line?
Yeah.
So the third line is for territory and the fourth line is for influence. On a 19 by 19, if you draw a square around on the fourth line and a square around on the third line, the territories are very close to balancing each other. Whereas on this one, the amount of territory in the middle is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is just 25 points. Whereas this here is 26 points. This here is 26 points. Like it doesn't balance, right? So anyway, so in general, that's why we play on a 19 by 19 because the influence in the center on the third and the fourth line just tend to balance each other a lot better. That's what I've been told.
Woo. He's playing a 3/3.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I heard, or I thought on like the smaller the size board, the more center influence you wanted to be because fights broke out faster.
I think this is a
the
debate.
converse, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean,
This is we don't know.
Okay.
I think
there are very
as far
few
as we can tell-
absolutes.
Yeah.
Right. Well, like
very few absolutes.
Tengen is a good opening move on the 9 by 9, but not considered so on the full 19 by 19.
We don't know.
We don't. Okay.
Like the problem is like on a 5 by 5 board,
We can know
the center point is really good.
Yeah.
because it's so close to
The
everything.
real problem is that the
Honestly.
strongest player in the world can't explain anything.
On a 7 by 7 board, the center point is still really good, like game winning good. On a 9 by 9 board, the center point is really good, but it's not unbeatable good. Like we think it's the best move, but we're not entirely sure. And once you get to like 11 by 11, we're no longer confident the center point's the best one.
Or even, at some point the value of the sides is increasing, right?
Yeah.
So when I talk about how, the sides is more valuable, that's because in this case the sides are far enough away from each other that a stone over here on this third line isn't affecting a stone on this third line as much. Whereas, for a 9 by 9 or a 7 by 7, your third line stones directly impact each other.
Right. I just thought you could use that same kind of area argument for why the 19 by 19 is balanced, where you say the center gets more and more important as, wait, no, never mind.
Yeah, no, you have a point.
You got the
though.
right idea.
Yeah, like on a smaller.
Yeah.
It's here's another way to think about it, right? On a 19 by 19 board, right? The 4-4 point's really good. Okay. So the 4-4 point is really, really good on a 19 by 19 board. Shrink the board down to 7 by 7. It's 4-4 point in 4 corners.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. On a 19 by 19 board, the 5-5 point is kind of good. Like it's good. It's not as good as the 4-4, we think.
Right. But on a 9 by 9 board, this is the 5-5 point in every corner.
On 4 corners. So
Right.
is a 5-5 point in 4 corners better than a 4-4 point in 1 corner?
Right.
We think so.
Right, and so then I would expect it to maybe
This
not
is
be
getting
in the
very
middle.
abstract.
but-
We got like, I shouldn't have even told that
The
anecdote.
philosophy crowd.
I kind of
I'll
regret
ask
it.
more later, because someone
Anyways,
was-
the long and the short of it is, I like the fact that I want territory. I'm gonna go for the 3-3 point.
I do have a follow-up
Yeah,
question
sure. Yes.
on, so earlier you said there's this debate about maybe on smaller boards, you want to be closer to the center in case a fight breaks out, because fighting is more
Yeah,
like
that was huge.
breakout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you want to be closer to the center as more fighting would break out?
So yeah, this is a great question.
Good question.
I'm
I think
gonna-
you should answer it.
Yeah, I got it. So fighting is all about having friends. Basically, if you have more stones in an area, you're gonna do better in the fight. When things are murky, you want more stones. Agreed?
That makes sense.
Okay. If I was stone near the edge, how many friends realistically can this stone have nearby? Not that many. It's already sort of walled off on 2 sides.
Sure.
So it's really only going to help things in this neighborhood. Whereas if I have a stone here,
Okay.
this can affect really all 4 corners of the board.
Stones in all neighborhoods, right?
It breaks a lot of ladders, right? If we get into a
Sure.
fight, there's ladders are really a big deal, right? If I can capture your stones easily, I want to be able to do that. That's kind of
Sure.
the point to go. So having a stone that I can run your stones into is really helpful. If I have a stone over here, it's very hard for me to run any of your stones into it.
Sure. That makes sense.
Sweet. I will play another move then.
Right.
Everybody's good? No, one more question.
To what extent would, on the 13 by 13 board, plan on the 4-4 point?
I don't think we have any.
Because you can invade all 4 corners then,
Yeah.
and having invaded all 4 corners on the 19 by 19 board, if you keep all 4 corners, you just about lose the middle, it's bigger, but here it'd be smaller.
Yeah, it's viable.
So if you keep invading, is that a better strategy in this?
I don't know, but probably. I don't know.
And just to go back and sort of answer your question in a different way, when we say like, why do we want to be towards the outside? Like if we look at a standard Joseki where, white takes the inside and black takes the outside, right? We might, Nick's point about how stones in the middle can affect things in all directions.
Yeah.
When your stones are on the side and they've been sealed in, they can't affect anything anymore. Whereas these stones out here can have an impact on future sequences in a way that these stones just can't. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I guess when it's fighting, it sounds like when you have your stones towards the middle, they'll help out other stones. It's not necessarily about like having the stones in the middle. If there were no other stones
Specifically,
anywhere
yeah.
else,
Yeah.
that's
Right.
not necessarily the same.
And it's not necessarily like literally in the middle
Sure.
so much as it's like an inside outside or
Yeah, that makes
inside outside kind of thing.
That
Yeah,
makes
that's a good point.
And inside outside, they're all part of the same ride. You ever do a string cheese incident? No. I like
The band?
Yeah, the band.
Yeah, talk about that.
Song called Inside and
Oh,
Outside.
okay, yeah.
It's all part of the same ride.
Oh, I see. We're
Yeah,
quoting
anyway,
history now.
yeah,
Got
we're,
it.
sorry, yeah, okay.
I thought we were
We're
trying to come up with a
smoothly
good
on.
proverb, and I don't know. I was-
Well, I mean, I think it should be. This is like great go proverbs from pop culture.
I'm gonna dig in. He wants territory. I'm gonna say, you know what? I'll take some territory. I'm down with this. I can play this game. So why don't I play that one now?
Because I want to sort of approach this. You might just take the other corner, and that's fine. So I want to have a severe enough follow-up.
I am taking the other corner. That is my plan, by
It
the
is
way.
his plan, so we'll see if my severe enough follow-up is actually severe.
So locally, this is usually considered a slight minus for white.
Not as bad as if I'd done this one.
This
That
is
would be
true.
worse.
That's a bigger minus.
This is one of the usual approaches.
Yeah, but this is a.
Yeah.
This is usually if I play here locally, I'm not playing here.
If he does play there,
If I do play here locally, without considering anything else in this board, and this is the key point, I'm not considering anything else in this board. If I just look at this situation, this is a winning situation for black. Now the question is why? Why is this good for black?
It's like slightly good for white.
It's a slight minus for white. It's like a slight, like we're talking, you know.
Which is why globally I think it's all right. Why? Why is
Because
it?
you're starting to make fourth line territory?
Yes.
Yeah, I already have the corner. I have it anchored, I have it defended. This stone and this stone basically is going to guarantee me these 6 points about here.
Anybody with the 3-3 point will usually end up with the corner.
It's very hard to take away a corner.
There's very few absolutes in Go, but if you get the 3-3 point, you're probably going to live in the corner.
It's still not.
Very few
You
absolutes.
failed to make an absolute statement anywhere in that sentence. But not only do I have this corner anchored, it's actually expanding. And it's growing. And this stone, this one stone is near 2 of my stones. This stone's actually quite a bit weaker. It feels like white needs an extra move to help this stone along.
I can reinforce.
The problem is, where does white play the next move to help this stone? There's not a good move for it. Like, you could try to make a base, but then the base is already undercut. Like, I can already play underneath
So that's why my plan would have been to induce something like that and switch to
and then play there. However, I will not respond. Even though that's good for me. Like, this is the weird thing about Go. This is a great move for me. But if I do this, I have played 3 stones all on one side of the board.
Sure.
I don't want to play 3 stones on one side of the board. I'm going to go over here, and we'll play that.
That would be a greater move. Great on the bottom and greater on the top.
I mean, I'm making a local sacrifice for a global good. What are you thinking, Andrew?
Now I'm sort of thinking of some specific options that would happen after I approach high or approach low. These are the standard ways to approach a stone on the 3-4 point, and I'm just sort of deciding which one I want.
Why do you want to approach the one in the top left?
Because this one's farthest from his friends and closest to my friends.
Rather than the one on the bottom right?
You mean this one? The one that he ignored? So
Yeah.
in theory, I wanted to get this close enough that I could threaten some sort of a severe follow-up.
Sure.
I've got a couple of different ways that I could make a severe follow-up, and I don't know which one yet I want to pick. So I'm going to decide on that later. And maybe I won't get to decide on that later. Maybe he'll be able to come back and get the next move there. But
And one other thing about this move, if he plays one of these, remember how I didn't want to play 3 stones on one side of the board?
Right, yeah.
He
Sure
kind of doesn't
enough.
want to play this. He doesn't
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to
yeah. Same idea.
over-concentrate
That makes sense.
globally either.
man, you know they say there's no secrets on the Go board. Like I should be able to tell what he's thinking anyway. But like now that I actually have to tell him, I really don't like it. What a drag.
All right, so I'm really debating between 2 moves.
All right, tell us which two.
Coming back here is still really big in my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I really like this move. I'm liking it a lot now, especially since I got to play this corner first. If I were to play here initially and gave him the first move in the corner, then when I went to approach the corner,
He's sort of gotten to choose which point in the corner
Yeah.
he wanted to start with.
he would choose the direction.
Right. Whereas if he'd played here, I probably would have played this one. So.
So I got that one. I dug into this side of the board a little bit, being on the 3rd line. And, that might be a good enough exchange for me now to justify coming back. The second option for me is to actually respond to this move directly. And
Which one are you thinking? You said you're thinking 2 moves.
yeah, the one, this is actually number 1.
And number 2.
Number 2 is actually here,
Oh.
which I think would be a surprise to Andrew. I don't think he was thinking, I would think this move.
Why wouldn't you want to go for the corner first?
Which here? This one?
Yeah.
I think this is also, I'm still considering this. This is still like on the top 5 list.
So how many people have heard the term Joseki?
Oh, yeah,
Right.
me too.
Oh, all right, cool. So how many people know some of the common responses to this? There's a bunch. I mean, there's a lot. This is part of the this is so exciting. You guys get to learn all this stuff again. Sorry. Anyway, but there's so many different options here that it can be a little bit overwhelming. But some of the most common ones are this one, which goes for the corner territory directly. Something like this one, which aims to develop on this side.
Yes.
But in this case, with the stone here already, just being a little more modest in his goals here is sort of an idea. This is also a choice as well. It's not like this is unheard of.
This is out of fashion though, at least on professional games like big size.
Yeah, it's very situational.
Why not a 2-space extension?
Yeah, playable.
That's also.
Also a choice.
But what makes you lean towards the 1-space extension? Like, I don't think I would have ever thought of that.
Part of this is just like the large background of Joseki knowledge, because when we're picking these, there's also all of the different ways that he can pincer this stone. Pincer? Pincer. I'm
my
getting
God.
better. I'm getting better. And on a 19 by 19 board, these pincers are always a lot farther away from the other corner.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of different sequences here that we're thinking of. And so, for instance, all of the different choices that he's deciding among, he can think about what the different end results are and think about like what he's looking for. So when you say, why does he do this one instead of this one? It's because, the sequences that follow after this, there's a couple main lines, and almost all of them, it's very difficult for white to cause any trouble.
Okay.
Black almost always ends up with territory, and white almost always ends up with something on this side. So he's constraining my choices by choosing this, and that's sort of something that he can do because he knows a bunch of those sequences, right?
Yeah.
So with a 2-space extension, there are some variations where you get cut and some sort of fight breaks out and you're no longer guaranteed the territory on the left? I don't even know the...
So there's just more things for white to do
Okay.
in this case.
Yeah.
The most common move for white would be to continue here, which is actually the same as this one.
But there's some subtle differences. So like, after I do this, black can play here to be really, really, really solid, or he can play here to keep these 3 stones sort of from having a base on the side.
Yeah.
If he's done this, this is leaves a weak point behind that makes it harder for him to do this, and he almost has to do this one instead, because it makes sure of that connection.
Okay. But if I don't play a stone on here, maybe there's some eye space.
Maybe I've got an eye, which
So-
means maybe he can't attack me on that side, whereas if he's planning on doing this, then maybe when I go over here, maybe I have to take another move and he gets to come back to here, and like we're sort of thinking that far ahead. At least I'm pretending to. I'm not.
Oh, maybe.
Okay.
So,
Have I played this? Have I decided?
I don't know. Both of those moves look
I
good.
vote for that move, Nick.
You like that one, Dan?
And you better, I don't know, Nick. You better play the other one.
Play it, play it.
I know, I really want to now. Dan wants me to play that one, so I really want to play this one. All right, we'll play this.
We'll play it.
We'll. I feel like if we play here, then we have to explain a bunch of 5-4 just like you variations.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
The alternative is to harney and
Oh,
then
white
bust
attaches
up,
here?
then bust up his moil.
Okay. Whoa!
Wow!
What?
You can't do that.
On television.
Oh yeah, so to go Congress this year,
Yeah, what up?
I kind of got obsessed with just going around going, what?
What?
It's really obnoxious.
Sounds kind of obnoxious.
It's really
Obnoxious
bad.
just this one time. I mean, that was,
Someone go, what? And I go, what?
I remember that.
It was bad.
I think I was there for something.
Sorry, I have to get this out of my system. We should.
Clearly you didn't sufficiently get it out of your system.
Wow. All right. So this move is really interesting. This move is doing a lot. It's actually thrown the board into a little bit of a state of confusion. Perfect.
So let's not talk about it. Let's resolve the confusion. Let's talk about it.
Okay. It has a loose relationship with both of these stones over here, but they're really loose. And both of them, these connections are not assured like at all.
No, they
Right,
shouldn't.
like-
I should not connect to
Black can still just play here and basically, disrupt this connection, or here, or here. You want to say something?
Yes.
Let me finish my explanation first, and then you can say something. Okay, thank you. So this is a weird shape. Okay, we don't see
We
this
don't
that
see
often.
this.
The second thing is that it's sort of like he's got 2 stones against my cornerstone over here now.
It's sort of
And
like
he's
I
got
got
2
two
stones
stones.
against this cornerstone here.
But these pincers are so loose.
They're so far apart.
that like they're not really severe, right?
Yeah, like if this was here and here,
This
like-
would be a classical pincer. This is a usual thing. There are Joseki for this. There's no Joseki for this.
Yeah, this is off book. We're off book, guys. All right, so basically, I have
And this
2
is also partly because we're on a 13 by 13, and each of the corners are so close to each other.
that everything affects.
Like if you spread each of these positions out locally on a 19 by 19, there'd be no interrelationships basically.
So I'm gonna try to simplify this one more step, and we'll have Dan ask his question.
Yeah.
Basically, I have to decide between playing this area and playing this area. Do I want to take this really valuable move that I've been just sort of like drooling over for
It's
the last
also
3
less
moves?
valuable because this is here.
It is less valuable, but it still separates your stone.
True.
Or do I make sure these two stones are uncomfortable and help this stone? And I know which area I'm going to play already. I want you guys to be thinking about it. Dan, what's your?
Oh, I just, I forgot. But-
Okay.
Okay.
But
Thank
no,
you.
but, I mean, it was, oh yeah, what I wanted to say was that basically the opening is already over. You're already in the mid-game.
We are in the mid game. Yep, 13 by 13 board. That can happen very quickly. Sure, that's good. All right. So what do you guys think?
I would have taken the lower right, but
You play over here
yeah.
with this type of move, or do you have another point?
No, I think that the one you were going to do is good.
Okay. Why?
Just the feel of the fact that you already have so many stones kind of up towards the upper left, and if you're adding more in towards the top on the left, then that one at the bottom starts to feel kind of lonely.
We could make it even simpler. This guy's already got a friend, so there's two people here. This guy's only got one. This is 1-to-1, so that's fine. But like adding another stone here makes it closer to where there's already two. So adding another stone here makes where there's only one.
Maybe
Good.
the black stone is also kind of leaning on two white stones.
Yeah, it puts pressure on this one too.
Yeah, because you can invade on this side.
Yeah.
That'd
And
be pretty easy.
depending what Andy does up above, you might even start isolating the upper left white stone.
So what's it gonna be?
I was gonna play over here.
What are you? But now you kind of like
But
this.
now I'm like, this is looking better.
All right, well, do it.
But yeah.
Top move, you'd get more for less, in a sense. You'd be pressuring both sides with the top.
Well, maybe. Yeah, I feel like this is more aggressive, right? This is more forward thinking, right? There's now a lot more pressure on this stone, especially since I only one space jumped here. If my next move is here, if I get this move and he does something over here, and I can play over here.
But that's a lot of ifs.
That's a lot of ifs, but you have to weigh these things, right? You have to assume if this is like Miai. Do you guys know Miai? Have you heard this term? There's two valuable things. You get one, your opponent gets the other.
Could you define it?
If there's so
Two valuable things.
equal and opposite.
Yeah,
sort of
they're
like equal.
approximately equal. If I take one, my opponent gets the other. My opponent takes one, I get the other. And in Miai situations, in like true Miai situations, often the correct move is to play neither.
Right, because if there's one thing that's important, and we both agree it's important, I should play it. If there's two things that it's important, and we both agree they're important, neither of us should play it, because maybe later one of them will be more important, and that's when you want to take it, right? Whereas if there's three things that are important, I should take one, because then there's two things that are important, and we go back to the other. Does that kind of make sense? It's like a really big concept. But it's, it's
and
pretty-
it has the other interesting. It comes up in the endgame a lot actually,
Yeah.
where you have the two most valuable moves on that board are worth the exact same.
Right.
And so you must play to win the game. You must play the third most valuable move on the board.
I think I gave it because
It's true, Dan.
Or you can play the first one, and then they have to play the other one, and then you play the third one. But
right.
either way,
That's
it's
the same thing.
it's the same thing.
if two moves are both important and they're equal, then one gets one with the other. So the question is, who runs off to get third prize first?
Yeah, that's what we said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Man,
So you
I have another
He
idea.
still hasn't made a choice. Yeah, do it.
my other idea is to actually kick this stone.
Kick it. Kick it.
Yeah.
That's an interesting.
I like that. I'm starting to like this move best.
Okay.
Kick it and then diagonal out.
Yeah. So here's what I'm doing here. This is normally a
What do you
dubious-
expect? Let's just play the next three moves you
Sure.
expect me to do before we talk
And I have
about
to decide here or here.
it. But one of these two.
One of these, something like this, to basically keep expanding the corner and make sure that my corner gets out, attack this stone, and to some degree, these two stones again still have this connection problem.
Right.
They're
They don't have
still
a base. If I do something like this, you can still come out and keep these guys separated.
Why do you feel like kicking first? Like, why not, if you were going to
Yeah.
do that other move?
Yeah, so I like kicking. Let's say I just play a move over here. This stone isn't really committing to anything.
I can later make a base in the corner by attachment.
Like this is actually harder to attack because he can get eyes down here.
Okay.
If I kick it, he can't get eyes down here. He's now committed to that stone. Yes, I made him stronger, but now instead of giving it two choices for him, I've given him one choice. And so that will determine how severe my attack is here later. Like if I kick him first and play here, let's say we play this, this move becomes really nice for black. Like, I've just made the value of this move tremendously large. Like, hugely large,
Yeah.
right?
So can I play? Are you done kicking?
Yeah, we'll see if
Are you
we'll
done
see if
talking about it?
But this is all hypothetical because I'm just playing the kick.
Right. I'm gonna play here now.
Woo, hot damn. This is a good move.
Well, it's a
This is a Joseki.
move.
You guys know about AlphaGo? This pattern got played a lot in a number of the AlphaGo games. And normally, this is considered bad for white, locally. Again, it's one of those situations.
Because black
Black
can,
is gonna play here
can resist by cutting through. It's the idea.
and fight. and start this
Ideally,
fight.
he'd like to have moved this stone here, or
Yeah.
something. But
What we don't, we should do what we don't wanna do.
right.
In this case, what do I wanna play here?
So now I'll be like, "Can I have your corner?" And you'll say, "No, you can't have my corner." I'll be like, "Can I really have your corner?" And you'll say, "No, you can't have my corner." And maybe I'll play here.
Can I seal you in the inside?
Can I seal you in? And he'll jump out and say, "No, you can't seal me in."
But look at this wall that he's getting.
And I've almost like bounced off of this formation on the top,
Yeah.
and now I can go much farther.
Maybe
Pressure
let
the
them
stone.
seal you in.
That's possible.
Well, yeah, but,
Yeah.
but.
But this is
Well,
sort of
I'm
the
doing a lesson for
perspective.
20 Qs, okay?
That's right.
Okay.
Like, Nick and I are already being obnoxious enough to each other where I'm like, "No, I won't cooperate with what you just explained to the beginners.
They understood.
I must resist."
They understood what, I
And then you're resisting, and now I'm resisting.
We don't have to play the variations, they understand.
That's a good point. That's a good point. What's the fun in that? That's right. So anyway, so usually the kick is almost always the right move locally because it's the right shape. Like if I ignored it, it's really big for black to get this because it almost completely neutralizes the stone. Like it's got like no possibilities, which is why it's almost always the right move for me to go here. Because now his shape locally has some problems where I can like fall up here or here, which is why he would know, like each of these are sort of just like very basic local shapes. And this one is sort of a special thing because I'm inviting a fight and I'm inviting to get cut because I'm saying, actually I'm giving myself a locally worse shape for the direction choice of the top side. Does that make sense? Like that's one of the things that we're trading with each other is I'm like, okay, I won't have as good of a thing with this guy, but as a result, I'm gonna have a direction that I care about.
Yeah. And because he's also starting a fight, this goes back to what Chris was asking about earlier, who has more friends in this fight nearby?
Kind of me.
It's white. It's actually white. So even though they're far away, they're still there.
Right. If this were switched,
Oh yeah, this is
this is a bad idea.
this is a terrible fight to pick.
Right.
And you'd have to play it.
I would play that. Yeah, exactly. Does that make sense? Cool.
Yeah. If you get nothing else from this lecture, right, try to start finding or imagining situations where you can see how these stones affect this.
Right.
And that's like the super hard thing about Go. Right? Like really, really hard. But if you start to gain and appreciate it from just watching us play, you're going to start to get a very innate feel for the game. And that's what's going to feel really awesome when you play a game yourself. We're fighting. Yeah, we're fighting.
Empty triangle.
Yeah,
It's
terrible
an empty
shape.
triangle.
Terrible shape. I'm sacrificing the local shape for the proper conclusion,
Okay.
I guess.
Power triangle is.
The power triangle, right. I don't want to tell my students that. Because
For the
then,
Thursday class.
maybe, but right, my job in this class is to drill into your heads, don't make this shape.
Don't make this.
Which is why we're not dwelling on this move very much, because I don't want to reemphasize this in your subconscious. This is a good idea.
It isn't. It's almost never a good idea, except for the
Except in this
occasional
case,
time.
yeah, like this-
Something about absolutes. I don't know.
Like this is like a special case.
deals in absolutes.
We're close Star Wars
The
now.
worst part of
Woo,
it.
hot damn.
Like, how could they even say that line with a straight face? Like, only a Sith
of
deal in
acting
absolutes. You're like, what did you just say? Like, ah. Anyway, okay, sorry. Moving right along. What was that? What were you gonna say?
I was just cringing at the prequels in general.
Let's just move swiftly on.
Game on.
Game on.
All right, this move.
Well, I can see I'm gonna get cut, and so I'm looking ahead. I'm looking ahead, and I'm like, okay, after this, he's got a Hane, and I can only. And he might take both of them, and then he can come out with this cutting stone, and then there's some problems, and I don't really want to get into an all or nothing knockdown, drag out fight just yet. So I'm going to do something where I'm going to kind of be light. Where I'm saying he can get some of these.
I'm very happy with this.
I think you would be.
I think
thought you-
I think
white.
you should get into a knockdown drag-out.
Yeah,
All right, well, we can go back and get
You're
into
white,
that drag-out fight.
and he's ahead, and he's got corners.
Not ahead.
So there's the other reason why this you see this move from the AlphaGo game. Again, this is higher level, so like I shouldn't be telling you guys any of this. But basically,
Can't give them the secrets they haven't
Go
been
AI?
initiated yet.
the short answer is the Go AI, right, has done a lot of analysis on this pattern and has come up with a bunch of other like forcing moves that make this fight okay for white. Andrew's sort of backing down from them a little bit.
Yeah.
So so like after he plays here and then plays here, locally black feels really good. Like I wanted to fight and he's sort of backing off a little. He's ceding a little bit of territory to me.
What could I be thinking?
I don't know what you're thinking because you're not building any points.
Good talk.
Here, we're just gonna play here as our follow-up, which is the exact same move I would have played if you played here. I feel like I've got momentum now in this fight. And he's just gonna want to back off and make shape. Once he plays this, he's just interested in backing off and making shape. And he's gonna feel
He
like
might
a chump.
change.
Because on a 13 by 13 board, there's not enough room to really back off and just make shapes everywhere. Like this can be a really good strategy on a really big board where you just take the outside, 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 outside and make the whole middle for yourself. I'm betting on the fact the board's not big enough for that here.
Why split those two rather than just coming down?
Yeah, this I'm very unhappy with.
You're unhappy with? Oh no.
Yeah.
Because this does finally make, this is no longer loose, this is now kind of.
Okay.
He'll give up one stone.
Okay.
Right? He'll say, I don't need you.
Okay.
But here I'm punching him where it hurts a little bit more. Oh my God! He now fights. He doubles back into
I
the
didn't
fight.
think you could do that.
So the thing that I was expecting him to do, I was expecting him to play something like this, and maybe this. And maybe sit and say, this stone, not that important, I don't really need to connect it, it's this one stone. This stone, I don't need to connect it, but both these cases later on, he can, seal this, that's a big move, or he can play something like this or this, and fix that. But he just wants to continue to just back off and just become really solid over here.
And the problem is that the influence, if I'm pointed this way, I'm not actually making any points. Like even if I get another move here, I've made 6 points. And even if I do seal him off here, he can extend over here and I get nothing from these moves.
So why are you fighting him then?
Why am I fighting
No
him
choice.
this way?
Yeah, no choice.
Well, because in this case, it's kind of like, if I had done this, he would have come out this way, right? And he would have played on this point.
You played here though.
I would have played here.
What? Why? Oh, because you have this stone.
Because I have this stone.
No, but you
And so I've sort of
No, you
gotten,
play here.
I would not have played
play here. Yeah, but if you play here, you're thinking black will come here.
Yeah, then you can net me this way. I can't actually get
Yeah,
it.
you take this honey first.
Yeah, the honey first.
Yeah. You want to short the liberty. The problem with the empty triangle is very few liberties.
Very few liberties. So because normally what he would want to do is he'd want to block. Because blocking is so nice, it feels so good, he's starting to take the stone. It's making a hanging connection. Except, since there's no liberties on this empty triangle, I get to play this first.
And you know what's worse than an empty triangle shape?
This is a power square shape.
Yeah, the power.
Power square.
Power square.
I think it kind of looks like a fist. So,
So what's
it's
your
a power
what's
punch.
your best explanation for why the empty triangle is bad? I'll do mine real quick.
Oh, okay, all right.
So
Yeah.
the diagonal move is connected
That's my
because
explanation. You already stole my answer.
Is it?
I'm walking away.
okay, good, cool.
Is this my
Well,
water or is this my water?
by extrapolation of that explanation, which okay, he's walking away. I'm gonna keep doing it. I don't have one.
I have two waters?
The idea is if black plays one, white plays the other. This is a great example of Miai. We were
Yeah.
talking about it earlier. This is like a textbook example of Miai. The stones are connected because if black plays one, white plays the other, black plays the other, white plays the one, right? So if you play this, it does nothing. If you play this, it's like you've done that twice. Thus, the power square. Okay.
Funny part is,
They got that already.
one of those waters
Yeah.
is definitely not mine.
Okay, well, it's not
I
mine
tried it
either.
though.
What, you're just like, my kid's in
That's-
daycare, I'm invincible? Is it?
No, that was definitely not mine. I'm just saying.
Okay.
That cup.
Well, it's not mine either.
I don't know whose it is.
All right, so moving back along. So that's why the empty triangle. He's probably right, because this would be okay. But, in this case, because he wedged that way, I'm going to go out this way, and I think he basically only has one move.
So I have a quick
Yeah, you.
question.
Yeah, hit us.
So I can't figure out why you playing that one space jump before filling the point next to the empty triangle is different than if you had filled first, because it looks like,
It's not.
so it would just be like if you took that Atari after he cut. So
It's,
then,
it's basically transposed to
Yeah,
yes.
but
Right,
in this case,
so
you
then-
wouldn't want to take this Atari after you cut. This would be a bad move.
why?
Well, let's just play it.
Well, this is the exact same situation we're in right now. Right?
That's why I'm confused
Yeah.
what the difference was.
Yeah,
Not much.
there is no difference except he looks bad. He looks like a bad Go player. And we got it on film
Oh,
because
that's
when he
why-
jumps out, he's saying he's not going to Atari this way.
Let's see who wins this
He's
game. Nick.
not going to fight. It's me. Like the game is not in doubt.
This is why I wanted his explanation too, because I thought there would be a reason that he thought there was a difference.
Apparently there isn't, and I've already lost.
Okay, good to know.
Let's play your move, Nick. Come on, let's go.
Well,
Dan has a question.
don't.
No, play your move, Nick. Quit stalling.
I don't have a question.
For a man who's so not in doubt to win this game, I
But it's
expect.
still complicated.
Is it?
It didn't sound very
He
complicated.
says
what
only
you're
have one
saying.
move, and I don't think that's true at all.
Okay.
I'm looking at 3 moves.
Come on. I don't
Okay, look at 3 moves.
So the 3 moves that I'm looking at, anyone want to guess what they are?
Nobody wants to guess. Play them.
Is it?
One's or both.
Yeah. What do you guys got?
Probably the descend, make a full triangle.
That's what I
This
was
one's
gonna
full
say.
triangle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
That's
my,
one.
That's my first.
Extend to the left.
Very good. Get more liberties. In a fight, get more liberties.
Yeah.
What's the third one?
Diagonal
I
move?
don't think they're gonna get the third one. Third one's
I
hard.
can get the third one.
I don't think they're gonna.
You gotta like have the
Killer instinct.
Yeah, the tiger
Yeah,
spirit.
That's right.
Fourth.
Oh, it's my 4th one.
Oh, what's your third one? This one?
Yeah.
You can't do this.
Why not?
Because I'm just gonna take this down the line.
But I get to Atari here then.
Okay, good for you.
It's very good for me.
Okay, good for you.
Fine.
So wait, why do you like this one? I haven't followed.
All right, so
Okay.
here let's show you some variations.
Let's do it.
So with this one, let's do this one first.
Okay.
You have your response for this one?
Sure.
All right, so then this then I shouldn't play this.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so if I play over here, he's gonna extend. I'm gonna Atari, and I'm gonna come
Take
back
his
with this thing. Good for black.
Cool.
Okay.
And if I play this one,
Right. We'll play here.
black has probably the best move is actually just here. Just get more liberties and poke at this.
Then I might play something else.
Ooh.
Anyway, this is
Wow,
a different
all right, that's
variation.
complicated. Then it gets complicated.
See, you're making me tip my hand too soon, dude.
It's brilliant.
If he does this one, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
if I know I don't mind making him strong here, and I get some momentum.
I'm gonna do this, and this captures this stone because this is a ladder. Right? Tari, Tari, Tari. You see it? Tari.
But
You
I
there?
guarantee
You
you
there
get
with
to get to Atari this stone.
You following? Did you get that on the ladder? Blue shirt? Yep, you?
Oh, me?
Yeah. When I say that I've captured the stone by playing right here.
Liberty the bottom, right?
When I play here, he has to extend.
Black has a ladder.
Black's-
White has a ladder.
White has a
White-
ladder, right? So I'm saying that I can capture this stone in a ladder. So if he plays the Hane, I play Atari, he has to play here.
So it looks like you lose the cutting stone then. So I don't completely follow why you want to Hane.
Yeah, so
Gives
so,
him an extra move here.
That's right.
Right?
Okay.
Because I'll have to answer that later.
So we have to go deeper. We must go
We have to
deeper.
go deeper, that's right. First, it gives him
What's-
the possibility here. It also gives him the squeeze here.
Yes.
Right.
So I think in order to see why, we're not going to play any of these moves. We're just going to play.
We're just gonna play. Okay.
But I think I do want to play this move. Just in
You wanna play it, huh? Okay,
Okay, but first I want to show him the difference.
Oh, okay, sure.
So if I play here, he plays here.
Right.
Black's next move is here.
That's the problem.
Why am I not connecting the stone? Because it's not a cutting stone, it's not important. It's more important that I take care of my cutting stones, which are these two stones.
11-6.
All right, then I don't want to play this. Here,
This is working a lot better for you, having me explain all this stuff.
I can work the system.
Oh, man.
Do I want black to have extra strength right here?
Yes.
If so, I should sacrifice the stone here, because then I get a free Atari and a free move.
Right.
If I don't need black to have extra strength here,
Then it's better not to
then it's better not to play it. And so this is the
This is the tactical cut and thrust part of Go, which is a lot of reading, planning ahead, being familiar with these sorts of shapes and techniques to get these forcing moves.
So you essentially read out and were able to see, like, if I Hane here, I will lose the stone that I'm honeying with, but I will come out with influence.
With some,
You get
benefit.
an extra force.
It's not influence, it's an extra
Yeah.
couple moves
Oh,
that
okay.
could become crucial in other sequences.
Right, because if we play this, let's say for some reason, right, white can play here and do this squeeze kind of thing. This doesn't quite work in this
This isn't
situation.
actually a squeeze, but
Yeah, but
there's a lot of things that almost work, where him having the advantage of an extra forcing move.
like this thing is really in danger, right?
The thing that you're covering up completely.
It doesn't quite work. I mean, I'm using some sleight of hand. Sleight of hand.
This
Sleight of hand.
thing doesn't really work.
But this is the type of thing I'm trying to. But whereas if I have an extra, what is this move? I've forgotten everything. Here. If on the other hand, I can come out here for free whenever I want, I'm no longer worried about getting surrounded on this side by white, because he has to come back and capture it. So do I want that free move or not?
Sounds like you do.
I don't though.
You've changed your mind again.
I'm going back to this.
For a guy who's completely sure he's going to win this game,
I can win with both of those moves.
I shouldn't be
The problem
demanding
is
that you tell me what your next
the
move
problem is both those moves lead to winning
play your move.
games.
Play your move.
I don't know which one wins better.
Isn't it the principle of taking the marginal advantage? You should look for the one that wins worst behavior.
Do you take the one that's safer, but with a less like you're planning to win by 2 points, but it's safer?
That's
to win by 2
generally
points?
considered good in like game theory stuff, right? That's how AlphaGo works.
It's how the AI does it, but we're humans, so I want to win by 50 points. So I want to take the less likely scenario, but it's going to win by more. All right, so you're still
Also
playing
called
this.
play the fun move, not the good move.
Yeah.
fun move.
Because this is, spoiler alert, this is actually a game to have fun with. So I know a lot of people don't hear that, but it is important that people realize Go is a game for having fun.
That's overplay.
This is a huge overplay.
Oh yeah.
It's a huge
Why
overplay.
not work, Nick?
I don't think it does. Hold on.
But I think you played it.
So
I played it.
What are you thinking when you're playing that move? Are you thinking you're going to try and kill all those stones? Is that why you want the attack?
I'm just trying to limit their liberties and mobility.
Okay.
And in doing so, I'm hoping to be able to build up enough strength and seal it in.
Okay.
And if I can get strong enough, oh yeah, see this stick over here? It's a stick.
Alright, so there's
Sticks,
like,
sticks are fun to attack.
do you remember the Yang Lung three principles of groups? In severity, groups can have liberty problems, connection problems, and base problems. Groups of stones can have liberty problems, are the most severe because your stones are almost captured. Connection problems are second most severe because then now you have two groups of stones. You have to worry about both of them. And then if your stones aren't going to get captured immediately and they're not going to get cut immediately, then you need to start wondering, do they have enough eyes? So by doing this mobility restriction, he's essentially saying, you know, where we go?
So he's just trying to find some space for himself, which he can find. Well, this is going to get worse before it gets better.
So at first I'm fighting for the, like he's trying to make a liberty problem for the stones by threatening some sorts of things. So now I don't have liberty problems immediately, I don't have I don't have connection problems immediately, what I have now is base problems.
So he has to play Go, I'm pretty sure.
Are you?
No, not at all.
I was going to say, I don't think that's
You
true.
don't need to play Go.
I don't really think that's true.
Yeah, I guess it's not true. So my corner is also a lot weaker too,
It's a lot weaker.
because this move just kind of kills me. So before I come back and kill this, no, sorry, not kill, make life for myself, I want to ask for every little free thing I can.
Right.
Say, hey, do I really need to come back and play here? Will you just let me capture a stone? He's going to say, no, you can't capture a stone.
So incidentally, if he had played this one where he'd played the Hane move here, he would be a lot more alive
Yeah.
on the top. Because let's just go back and show that real quick. If he played it this way, remember where he has a Hane and I have to play Atari and all that?
I have Tetsuji
He
here,
can play this where he's threatening to take these two stones and I'll capture.
and I can Atari
And
again.
then Atari again and I have to
And
connect.
now when he plays here, white is a lot further from his
The
stones.
technical term for this is a squeeze and it gives him a lot more space on the top.
So that one move would have given you like 2 free moves.
Two free moves, 2 very important free moves in this case.
You know, it goes hard, man.
I love how you talked yourself out of it too. I was like,
But here's the thing, you have a stick.
okay.
Like the benefit of me not playing this is that he doesn't have any eye shape. If I gave him a stone, he'd have eye space over here.
There's an unreliable narrator problem. That's what's really
That's my middle name.
unreliable. Nick,
Unreliable narrator.
Sibicky. I like it. What did you give Beckett for a middle name?
You don't know his
I
middle
mean,
name?
if your middle name is unreliable narrator, what is he like? Sir Poops a lot? Like,
So I told Katrina,
yeah.
this is before he was born,
Uh huh.
he had to be named after either a god or a monster for his
Okay.
middle name.
Okay. For his middle name, which did you pick?
She picked god.
So which one? Hephaestus? God of the Forge.
We'll deal with this later. We'll have some
Okay, we'll come back
suspense.
to it. Okay. All right. I'm really curious now, actually. All right.
All right, so you connected.
I connected. I will kill you. Make your peace.
This is pretty dangerous. Now this is the part where I have to actually like count liberties.
Mm.
And even though I can't really make 2 eyes directly or very
He
easily,
can keep me from making 2 eyes, in which case it turns into a race. Who's going to capture who first? We didn't make this simple or easy or like.
it never is. It never
I'm
is.
not sorry. I'll do it again. I'm sorry to you guys, but I'm not sorry for him. I mean,
And I don't know. What would you do?
I would try and kill me, definitely.
I want to. That's like my gut instinct.
I
It's
know
always
you do.
whenever possible.
That's
just
one
kill
thing I'm
Andrew.
banking
Just
on.
kill Andrew.
It wouldn't be nearly so much fun if I couldn't just plan on that.
Is it pretty close to who wins this fight is going to be in a good position to win the
No.
game?
No?
Not at all.
No,
Okay.
yeah, that's definitely not true. That'll still be game on.
There's a few problems with this idea. Is that whoever wins it, like there's not gonna be a winner here, right?
There are no winners in this fight.
because neither of us are gonna die. We're both gonna basically live peacefully.
I thought you were saying you didn't have enough space for eyes at the top, so
If I play next.
Yeah.
So he could play now and be
This
alive.
move's a problem.
That was a problem. This move.
This is the problem.
That's the better problem.
That's the better.
Which is again
Yeah.
aiming right at the liberties problem of the empty triangle.
Sorry.
Anyway, either of them. I'm looking at both of them as
I
interesting.
think this is the better one.
Probably.
so if you decided to back off, then you could live in the corner.
Nick could live in the corner if he wanted to. Yeah.
Okay.
If he wants to kill me, he should probably take this stone.
Oh,
But
That's probably the severest move to try and kill
he
me.
can just live over here.
Live-ish.
I think you just live out. You just live. Look, you can just live there.
If I play here, what if you try really hard? This is like going all in.
Oh,
like
try
you
hard
can go,
That
you
can't
can go
be
all
so
in.
in.
Yeah,
It doesn't work.
you're right. So I might be able to live. So don't take the stone.
Well, I did.
I don't know if that's the proper move. I kind of feel like it's not.
This is the proper way.
I kind of want to play here, but
That one looks good too.
then this might be Sente.
What about just this one? That might
kind of
actually be
a-
right. It's a little weird. But it might be
It's
right.
very weird because of this clamp.
Well, you have already got this one.
This clamp.
There's no clamp. You already have this.
I already have
There's
this.
no clamp.
That made me have a general question because you're looking for the proper move, assuming that there is kind of a best
Next move
way
for
in the
black.
situation.
When we talk about proper move, we're talking about what leaves the least follow-ups.
Right. And so I'm just curious if you think it's a good strategy for beginners to try to find the best
think
move
black should
really
just
hard
try to
and just
win the
find an
game.
acceptable move. Like,
Find an
that's-
acceptable move, sure. But hang on, find an acceptable move. But just how we're talking about how the difference in like a few forcing moves is, that's what we're talking about when we're talking about like what's the proper way is. What's the way that leaves the least negative possibilities in the future. So if you find something that's just like that's the funny thing. Like in Go, there's like one way to cut usually. Maybe there's 2 ways to cut, but like there's like 6 ways to connect, right? Indirectly with different ways to like protect the cut, because if you cut, you'll get an Atari, or you can just play the move that cuts. Like there's so many different ways to protect against a cut, and you're balancing. Well, if I protect it this way, then there's a forcing move from this side. If I protect it this way, there's a forcing move from this side. If I just play solidly, there's no forcing moves at all, but it doesn't go as far. It doesn't stretch as far in exerting influence than it could, right? And all those trade-offs are like, fun is trying to.
Or torture.
I
or
guess.
something.
So, well, I'm just thinking the way that you guys are talking about this game, part of it has to do with your superior reading ability and like knowledge of Joseki, but a lot of your decisions are ones that I would not make because they dive headfirst into complications to go for like a powerful kill,
Totally.
right? Like when you were talking
Totally.
about earlier, bottom right corner versus top left, and you ended up playing the kick.
Yeah.
I would have almost always played in the bottom right just because I just identify my weakest stone and strengthen there.
And
Because
that's
so
totally
often
legit.
it goes-
I think
That's-
part of the other thing is that when you are playing someone who's your own level, this sort of like pushing back and forth becomes like where it will be decided. Like you won't always get a choice to simplify the game. Does that
Okay.
make sense? Like and sometimes there are times when that is totally the right thing to do, and there are times when you don't have that opportunity to just find something that's okay. That you need to find something like is very democratic. We're both equals, but if I don't assert, my share of 50% of the board, Nick is going to walk all over me, right? And it's not a matter of like just finding a peaceful way out necessarily. Does that kind of make sense? I don't know. I kind of fell
Yeah,
into
it
philosophy.
does, but it's
Also, the reading is like when you're reading someone who's reading a lot of the same sequences, you're both sort of looking for ways to not cooperate. Unless, I cooperated with Nick a couple times here, and I ended up in a situation that I'm happy with. So it's not like I had to push back against everything. Like he didn't think I could play this jump, and I did. And he didn't think I could play this Atari this way, and I did. And the situation seems okay here.
Oh, you still lost the game. You're not.
Well, did you hear the guy say it was our superior reading ability? But I think
Yeah.
he just meant that was my singular. It wasn't plural, you. He was talking about
Your reading ability doesn't see this clamp.
I don't know what the guy was. He wants to talk about this clamp. Let's listen to what he has to say about this clamp.
So one thing I'm looking at, right, is he wants me to play this move.
I don't think it's good. I'm just trying to decide what the proper move is. I'm not sure.
Right. Well, he was exploring this move, right?
Right.
And I had sort of already written this move off because if he plays anything over here, if there's white stones anywhere over here, he now gets this move. And now this is where you do have to do some reading. Go does have reading. Does anyone see any problems with this move?
It's still fine.
What if you play that?
I think it's then.
I think it's dead.
Then it's fine.
I think it's dead.
DDD dead.
And so, if he plays a response like this, like, hey, I have an eye. Well, no, you really don't. Because are you going to fill in here? Well, I
Now
might take
this
the
is a
Atari,
Atari,
and now
it's
you're
not
just
a
like super dead. If you play on this side, he can't connect because that puts himself in Atari, and I connect out.
I would
So
certainly never have been trying to trick you into playing this move that had an obvious killing follow.
I don't take it as you being malicious. I take it
'Cause
as
I just
evidence
tried.
of your
Of my ineptitude.
inferiority.
My inferior skills, that's right. My incompetence in general.
And
General
so
malfeasance.
the white move on the outside there, or on the left
This
side
one,
there,
yes.
that was necessary because otherwise.
He might be able to make
did-
an eye up
Yeah.
here by running in this direction.
So if I have this here, and he plays here, I go, okay, you can reduce me down to one eye down here.
We'll do another fundamentals thing. So when we're talking about groups in
So
the
it's gonna run
general,
this way.
we've got liberty problems, connection problems, and base problems.
Yeah.
When you're trying to kill, the rule is first make the eye space as small as possible, then try and play on the vital point. If I try and play on the vital point before I've made the eye space as small as possible, you can make the eye space bigger, and now the vital point is irrelevant.
Okay.
Right? So you have to have a net before you can strike at the point that matters. Does that?
Well said.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense.
I mean, this is crossing. You have to like punch fish or something. I'm not really sure. You cast a net and then you like get a fish and there's a vital point. I don't know. I lost. I was losing control of that metaphor. That was just running off on me. All right. So there you go.
I'm playing there.
Okay. You did it.
I did it. Damn disapproves.
Stan disapproves.
Was that really forced?
Play here.
Yeah, it's not.
Because that's forcing-ish. If you push, I'm going to draw it back.
Yeah, but I think that's okay for me.
Go for it.
Is it okay for you?
You do you.
It's not okay.
Follow your dreams. I'm a player.
So this is all expected. Now, by connecting, he's made two eyes, and he's exposing this cut. He's preparing this cut next. So I have two options. I can either just fix the cut, or I can put so much pressure on him that I never have to.
Which could you possibly prefer? When you phrase it that way. Which could you possibly prefer? I had no idea that was coming. This is my shocked and surprised face.
but we don't know for whom. We don't know who he's worried about.
Ask not for whom the bell tolls.
So one of the things I was worried about before, to some degree, was White's middle. All right, he played an outside move here, he played an outside move here, he played an outside move here.
Yeah.
And right now, as long as this stays strong, I'm not worried about his middle. In fact, it's more like my middle. And I still feel good.
I still.
Of course, I've given up a lot of territory potential. All right, this got reduced quite a bit smaller.
It's reduced to 6 points. I get 6 points for free, just by virtue of
Yeah, this is
letting you play
coming.
first.
Yeah,
That's right.
This group is match is coming.
So, since the middle's not going to be very big, by threatening to make a big middle and then switching, that was kind of the thought.
That was your trick.
Anyway, we were talking about how I got multiple ways to connect. So he's threatening to push. The threat is clear. I can play just directly to take that threat away. I could also play this move, which threatens the second part of that threat. I could also play this move, which is kind of the same. I could, there's a lot of different ways to connect.
But it's a big enough threat that you can't
I could push and
tanuki.
cut.
But it's a big enough threat that you can't tanuki.
Yeah, this is, let's say, if he tanukis, this is very scary.
Okay.
Yeah, this would cause connection problems for the stones and liberty problems maybe for this half of the stone.
Okay.
He plays here, and I cut here.
I can't, if I protect on this side, he'll actually take the stones on the other side.
This.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
actually you might eat just like everything. So I can't just ignore this. This is severe. The push through is severe.
So I was very excited to play it instead of just fixing.
Yeah,
Right,
that makes
there's a
sense.
very big difference. If I just play here, now he has time to do whatever he wants. Here, I still don't have to fix yet. And again, if he just ends up connecting and making me stronger in some way, I maybe never have to fix.
Which is why I'm thinking.
Yeah, this is a hard situation for White. I think I haven't been putting enough thought into your moves as you've been putting into my moves.
That's possible.
Yeah.
You've been very blasé about the opportunities that I might be pushing back.
Well, I'm not worried about helping you, I'm worried about helping them.
Oh, so selfless. He's a saint. This guy, he's a saint.
That's why
He's not worried about helping himself.
I'm gonna get some more water.
I'll get
That's
some more.
in my cup.
All right, next one.
I'm gonna connect. This is not unexpected.
I'm gonna get myself some water. Don't let him spread falsehoods and misinformation. Hey, dude.
All right, so here, I'm gonna stand back here with you guys so I can see what you're seeing.
Okay.
But there's a couple really big ideas that Black should be having right now for how to proceed with this game. What are they?
Pressure on the group on the top.
Right, how would you do that?
Try to connect in underneath and take out ice space.
Yeah, you're gonna move like this. Would do that. There's actually, because I already have this stone here, there's actually a very difficult task of making ice now, even if I just play this move. What's the downside of this move? Is there a downside?
I get to aim at the cutout here.
Shh, there was a question for
Oh,
that.
sorry. My bad. Is that what you're going with?
No, we're flying through some situations. What's the problem if Black plays here?
Aside from the answer he just gave.
Yeah, well, what types of moves make his answer?
So it's that cut he was aiming at before. Like previously, your move was severe enough that he didn't have time to cut there Tanuki, but this one might not be
This
severe.
one.
What do I
He can
play?
consider this, but more than likely he'll probably do something like this and come out this way.
It's more like.
And if
Oh, because then he connects either through the left side of the
Yeah,
right,
it's-
depending
it's-
on what you defend.
it's very hard for Black to say this.
That's
So.
Miai, I guess. Oh, no, that's not Miai. That's
Also if I cut over here, the point that he would like to play is this one. Makes a bamboo joint.
Of course.
Yes.
So this makes a nice connection. That makes two.
So it makes the cut worse as
The
well.
bamboo shape is also a Miai idea, where if I try to push through this way, he can block. And if, say, I had a stone here and I tried to push through this way, he could block. So a bamboo joint is also a nice example of a shape that's connected through Miai. Does that make sense? Should I show it again? Yeah, you want to see it?
No, I forget.
It's okay. I mean, 35Q. This is absolutely fine. We were all there once. I promise you. Like,
There's another defect in this shape that you guys, it's probably not on your radar yet because it's not as severe right now. But later on, there is this move as well.
yeah. And what this is aiming is to threaten to push here. And this is a common pattern where you push through from the third line, you block on the second line, and if I cut on one side, he Ataris, I can turn to switch and cut on the other side and attack this stone. And if I cut on this side and he Ataris here, then I'll cut on this side, he captures, and I'll turn and I'll ladder these stones.
So the diagonal move he had to do, you'd have to do to start it. Couldn't black just wall off there and then you wouldn't get to push
Can
black?
you do this? Yes, but then I can ladder this stone.
I meant
No, he
back-
means earlier. Yeah, I know what he means.
Oh, sorry.
He means right now, black gets a move.
Yes.
Right.
And so black could play here.
Yes.
That was what I was
But
thinking.
now, does this stone help get this group out?
Yes. Yeah. Right. And now if I cut here, maybe
Now what happens?
Something.
With this cut. He gets a stone there first. Right. So the problem with potentially attacking this directly with a move like this is that I leaves defects, and this is where in order
Are you
to
seriously considering this move? Like, I
No,
feel like
that's not
okay.
what I'm like.
I was gonna say.
But
You
it was
should stop.
this was their idea.
Oh, okay. That makes
They
sense.
wanted me to attack
Good.
stick, right?
Good.
This was their idea. It's all them.
What a saint.
Such a bust for that move.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, bump the wheels, just backing it up.
But wait a minute, what about playing one move to the left?
Yeah, this would be a better
This
consideration.
one.
This is slightly better. It makes this a defect, but he still has this move.
Right.
The funny thing is that this is pretty
you
similar
got
to if I played
cash.
here.
You got cash,
figured he would
pretty
play here.
solid, and how's he gonna win? He's got,
Well, because this isn't my style.
What about 7-6?
7-6.
Sure.
Oh.
I've already played here. Right.
One below the bamboo joint.
This one.
Here, yeah,
This is a
nice
great shape.
This is nice.
This is a good shape.
This is one of the ones I'm
25Q,
considering.
Come on.
Yeah.
So this is called table shape, where it's one move away from the bamboo joint. And one of the nice things about table shape is that it protects the cut as well. There's a weakness at this point. But in this case, with this here, it makes a nice little short ladder. So it protects both cuts. It protects this cut and this cut. Full marks.
And this was my preferred choice before we launched into this diatribe.
I don't quite see it yet. How does
Yeah,
it protect the cut? Yeah, that one.
That's all right.
Oh, okay, I see it.
It's really neat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's nice, right?
Yeah.
This is what I mean, where like there's a lot of different ways to connect. And they have pros and cons. And
That
yeah.
move would not have occurred to me.
There's something else important about this move that it does. Like right now, it just looks like I'm defending, but I'm not.
It also connects with this.
Okay, it does that too. All right, what else am I thinking of though?
You're extending closer to the corner.
We're thinking of clamping here. I have no idea what you're thinking. Please
Can
tell
you
us.
use it to attack the stone?
Oh, he wants to attack the stone.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
And this is an anchor point to swallow up this whole area.
In a big way.
This is a very big threat.
Okay.
So we're playing this one.
Plan
Yeah,
on
we're playing this
Let's
one.
attach up here.
This is expected.
I have to. After he's played this, if I do something like this, now there might be a real problem if he were to attack the whole top eye shape. Maybe not,
You're
but I
basically
also
trying to keep yourself safe up there at the top.
I'm trying to keep
Moves
myself
like
safe
that.
up here at the top. That's right. Also, like, I think if he played here, I'm not sure how I could make shape enough to live.
Yeah,
And
you-
also, he would be making cash as he attacks. So, like, this kind of attack here, it builds his territory. It also takes away mine. So it's like that's a strong,
That makes sense.
very valuable for him because he's able to. The point is not to attack. The point is to make territory by attacking. So, giving him a move up there is exactly what I don't want to do.
I'm considering this.
Do it. Do it
I
up.
have to do more reading.
Don't do that.
This is a little. This is technically Joseki, but not when white has a giant wall here.
Correct.
Oh, you just can't play this. This just doesn't work at all with this wall here.
Go
I
on.
have regrets. I have regrets. Let's keep playing.
really?
Where are we going with this here?
No, this is a terrible idea.
For real?
I was thinking I could play right here.
I don't think it connects.
It doesn't.
I mean, you could make a co for like everything.
Huh? No, this. No.
Let's show it. Let's show it. Let's show it.
Do you see a code here?
Let's show it. Do your thing.
Here?
Play here. Play here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this forcing move first before I have to go back and take this down. Done. And now he's saying if he clamps.
I want to play there. Right.
Yeah, I think that's fine. But if you clamp
If
directly,
I clamp directly. Oh yeah, this.
I have to play here. Separated. Yeah, there's no go.
There's no code.
There's no go. You can play here though.
Okay.
Yeah. And now that's Sente. And now, is it enough? He's alive. Yes, he has a life.
But it's a sad life.
It is a sad, pathetic life. For shame.
But you took away a lot of his territory, right?
He did kind of, except like now out here there's some problems.
Hmm.
Like now this is sturdy enough that I could think about trying some sort of really harebrained counterattack. This is harebrained. But something like this where I'm actually threatening to make the territory on the bottom because maybe I can cut here somehow. I'm dreaming, Nick.
Looks a little dreamy.
Look a little dreamy. I do look a little dreamy. Moving right along. Well, this is an option. I'm not really sure it has a lot to recommend it.
So now that you've already started down that path, is there a good way to back off?
Yeah, I think he could play here
Yeah.
and then force me to
Fine.
take the stone. It's not great. He would be better off not having played this at all. Because
That's right.
if he
I should've
played
just played
here.
Yeah.
You could play here, and then I would have to play here, and then what, do this one, I guess.
Remember I can play that one. Yeah, this one. This one.
Yeah, and that threatens to have him play on this side to take these two stones. This could be better. What was that?
This is better for black.
This is better than the other one.
Better than the other one.
But it's probably better not to have cut at all.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Way better just to play here.
Right.
He pulls back. I get to play here, and now he's still really stressed on ice space.
Although actually, I probably, if you hunt, I probably
Oh, yeah.
here because I have this stick.
Oh, you have a stick. You're right.
This stick.
You have a stick.
You're all like, I'm going to attack that stick, and I'm like, well, this stick is actually not the dumbest stick.
Okay.
Where are we going? Where are we taking the stick?
I like this one.
You like this one? We're going to do it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it.
Because it amuses me.
Okay.
Is that better than like a...
No.
No.
It's not better than anything. I just lost the game.
If you moved it over one more, does that make a difference?
Which one?
The 2-6.
No, we didn't move it over. This was always here.
Yeah.
If you played on the 2-6 instead,
Oh, here.
Is this here?
does it make a difference?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes, it makes a big difference.
This is that's not a good idea.
Okay.
Can we explain why?
Yes.
Let him explain. Make him read it.
All right. So, did you know what you're reading?
No.
Okay. So what we're reading is that once you've played here, I can disconnect these two stones from this stone.
Mm.
In this one, he needs all of these forcing moves. So I play this move before I have to turn back and play here. Why do I have to turn back and play here? Because if I try and play on this side, he can play here
And kill the
and
bar.
beat these three stones. This is going to do a lot of reading here. But basically, this is 1, 2, 3 to 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
So that's a capturing race, right? Do we understand what I'm going through over there? Great. Okay, so I have to, once I play this Atari, I have to come back and play here. Now he gets another forcing move here. Well, let's do this one first.
Okay.
This forcing move here threatens to take this stone out and capture these two. So now I have to actually take this stone, right? So that gives him time to come back up here. Once he threatened to do here is he's threatening to push through and essentially connect this stone to these stones. So I have to play here. Now if he leaves it, when I play here, he doesn't actually have eye space here. So he has to end this whole sequence and go take, which means it's my turn at the end of
That's the really
sequence.
big deal here.
That's the really big deal because
Before I didn't. If I just didn't do this Hane sequence and try to take over all these points, if I just Hane and just take my territory, he has to make life and go take.
right. And then it would be his turn to turn and attack this group on this
That's
side.
right. And
So
so
as it is, it's my turn
Sente
now.
Gote with that?
Sente and Gote. So Sente and Gote is what we refer to, it's like having the initiative. Because he has to play the final move of the sequence locally. It's my turn to decide where to go next, right? I have the initiative and where to start on the rest of the board. Whereas in the previous sequence, I will move to make my space secure, so he would be able to switch and cut off this whole stone. So that's a really, really big thing that you're reading. You're not only just reading for like, what's the simple, like when you talk about like, can I get the good enough move? It's like, well, it depends. If it makes a difference for Sente and Gote, it can mean like everything, right? So there's no way to get around having to do some reading
Yeah.
when you want to play a serious game of Go. When you want to just play the fun moves, I mean, just.
I have heard Go professionals though
Yeah.
say that they only seriously read out really long situations maybe twice in a game.
But they've already absorbed
Right, exactly.
so much.
But there is a level, right, where you can play Go at a really high level and actually not read out so much, just because
It's
you
true.
know the game so well.
That's true.
But this all happened, right?
No,
What?
no,
Why not?
didn't happen.
This didn't happen?
This didn't happen.
Why?
Because I'm thinking I can resist.
Oh my God, this is exciting.
I'm
So
thinking
we're
I
here?
might be able to resist.
We're here? This is the
I'm
situation?
thinking.
Okay.
I'm thinking. So this is one of the two situations I get to read. Come on.
You gotta go professional. You read all the time.
I don't have a lot of variations in that sequence.
No.
There's like none.
So what are you trying to? Are you trying to read that you could kill his stuff there? Is
Well,
that
yeah,
what you're
if I
looking
could
for?
kill his stuff, like say I can do this
Get the liberty.
and get the liberty and maybe somehow win a capturing race against this side. Since he didn't get that extra forcing move, maybe I have 5 now. Maybe I've got enough, but it's his turn. He has to go there. I'm not sure. That's what I'm reading.
Okay.
I do really like the other sequence. So you know what? Oh, that's not there at all. You know what? Let's do it, but I'm not going to play that Atari.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if that makes a difference for
That's
you.
pretty good. That's pretty good. I guess I should go play there.
You still
Okay.
obnoxious. Do we have any captures, actually? I've got one now.
No captures.
No captures.
Other than that one. All right, Sente boy.
That's me.
This did just throw the game into White's favor.
Substantial.
This was a bad choice for Black.
I do like getting this first.
That's your move?
It's my move.
You committed?
You ask the hard questions.
I know.
So you're basically trying to force black to connect there?
It's
Yes.
called a peep.
Yep.
I'm peeping at his connection. I couldn't cut here directly, as we established.
Yeah.
So we can't cut directly. Get free stuff.
Right, good for yourself. No, I'm not. I'm not committed. I like it. I like it. I think discretion is the better part of valor.
I think that's a much better move.
I think it's a much better.
I think he almost lost the game.
What am I worried about? What am I worried about? I'm worried about if he plays here.
Yeah.
So if I play here, I've got basically an I here, and I can make a gote I here. By a gote I mean I can make an I which is turn next, right? Also called half an I, because if you have 2 gote I's, you can only play one of them. Does that make sense? I'm just going heavy to this tonight. I'm sorry. I'm not doing
I
it.
heard that term a lot, but I never knew what it meant.
Half I or a gote I? Yeah.
Half I.
Do you see what I mean by
Mhm.
it's a half an I if it's a gote I?
Yeah.
Right.
I can't actually follow how you can make an eye over there.
Over here?
Yeah, in the upper
Here.
right. Yeah, in Gote.
This threatens to take the stone.
Oh, so basically he can't push into your bamboo join because he'd lose a stone up there.
Pushes into this loses the stone.
Oh, and then that's an eye anyways.
Right,
this
there'll be
threatens to
an
kill
eye here.
this.
And it threatens to kill
Oh,
us, so
okay.
they really can't
So-
do it. Right.
That's the reason why.
That's the reason.
They were talking about 3rd line being territory, 4th line being influence, but second line, things are a lot of times concrete, running things into the edge of the board immediately. So there are a lot of little common sequences there.
Okay.
That
So
crop
can the
up.
third line, actually.
Also, okay.
Yeah, also
Those are a little bit beyond my level.
Yeah, exactly, but they're a little
Second
more
line.
Sure.
Okay, anyways, so but the idea is if I play here, he connects, I play
Yeah,
here,
that
I
makes
made an
sense.
eye.
That makes sense.
But it's Gote, so if that's the only eye I have, he gets to spend the next move killing whatever my other eye is.
Right, and so if he plays here, and threatens to, cut these 3 stones off, I'm using my move instead to play darts.
And now I have problems.
And now he has to
Play
work
here.
he has to work really hard in order to find 2 eyes here.
Maybe I play here,
I think you have to.
and now
And
I
he has
think
like-
I'm alive.
I think he has 3 Gote eyes.
3 half eyes.
So if he play, so 3 halves, right? But it's his turn, so he can turn one of those half eyes into a full eye. He has 1 full eye, and then he has 2 half eyes.
And now we're at me eye, that important concept. That's right. This is like a tour de force of like
We're doing everything.
we're doing all the stuff
Oh.
tonight. You guys are all gonna be like 15 cubes just after tonight.
So, but he does this in Gote. Remember how I ended this in Gote?
I end this and go take.
He ends this in Gote.
So then he can finally come back and connect if he cares, or he could do something even more aggressive, by be like, I don't care if you cut, I'm gonna eat everything. That's a little ambitious. It's a little ambitious. I mean,
But I get all these stones for free,
right,
right? And if
Which
I
is
get
a
all
big
these
deal.
stones for free, yeah, it's a really big deal.
right.
So, we can play this game.
I still might win this game.
It's still, like, this is such a huge mistake. Yeah, this
Keep
is
here.
still okay for.
And then
I want to make sure I want to play this.
yeah, okay. Well, this is the game
He's
we're
out, he's out,
playing.
he doesn't want to play.
This is the game we're playing. So you remember how I said like if I have might be the next move I play after this sequence, because after this sequence I can cut here, right? Yes. So as a result, that's why that is the move that I'm thinking of here.
Oh wow.
Does that make sense?
Except he didn't see any of this because
I
he
did
was.
see. I'm looking at this part.
So is the idea that just in principle, if the exact same variation would happen, you would have had that move.
I'd have a stone
free?
on the
That's
right
right.
point at the end of this.
Okay.
Right. And that's how the really good players have their stones like on the right place by magic. I don't do that. This is not the right place, and a lot of these stones not end up on the right place. But that's sort of like way where you're like, man, how did you coincidentally put that on the spot that just happens to be important? And it's just like it's
magic, man.
It's like what they do. It's magic. In this case, this is even simpler. If he goes this way, I can hane and cut. And if he goes this way, then I can hane and connect. Same idea. So that's really the only magic that arrived at this one. So with all of that,
So that's your move then?
that's my move.
Okay.
You don't like it, Dan?
No, I'm just saying.
I don't think you
maybe
like it.
Black can do his invasion now.
Black can do his invasion.
Hey,
You know,
but he, I mean, it's.
there were not a lot.
I'm happy. I'm happy if
he.
he doesn't do that and I get all that for free. But tough. So there's a couple things that I'm eyeing. Like this. First of all, this 2 space is usually pretty connected on the 3rd line. If I have stones nearby though, it might not be. And especially if you look at, if he tries to come on top like this. Let's play here, and then there's a type of ladder situation. Oh, ladder is immediately broken. But you can see how there's these types of cuts. If he goes beneath, there's cross cuts like this.
And maybe I can capture, on one side, and divide
Yeah.
it.
If he
I can't do this because the ladder will run into this stone, or it'll run into a carrying this stone.
Do you have a trick for seeing the ladder? I've heard that before when like watching videos online, people will be like, oh, blah, 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 but it only
There's
works
the
if you
ladder.
have the ladder.
Yeah.
And like there's no obvious ladder there at that moment.
Yes. So it involves reading to the point to where you know where the ladder is
Okay.
and knowing where it goes.
Okay.
In this case, right, if we were looking at this ladder, first of all, actually in this case, what Black would play here would be an entirely different sequence. But
There's a lot of complicated variations, and you can't really get away from reading, because you may want to play a simple move, and then they do something like this, and you
Yeah.
have to find a way through.
in this case, this would normally be a ladder, except it's immediately broken because
Because the
of this stone.
stone is in Atari.
That makes sense.
Now in this case, after I play here, fun fact, this stone out here turns into a net. So I need to turn around and take these stones, right? And he can actually keep this from being an eye. I capture 2, he throws in, I have to connect, he plays here, and I don't actually have to connect, but I probably should, maybe. I don't know, this is all very theoretical. But the point is that there wasn't actually an eye even under those 2 stones. So there's all of these sorts of fun variations. And this is, again, I think part of the enjoyment of Go is that once you start learning these sequences, you see them quicker. Like, so once you do a bunch of Go problems, you'll have a bunch of these things in your repertoire, and your brain will sort of unfold those patterns quicker.
Well, this stone is really annoying for him.
I don't really find it that annoying. I think it's pretty cool.
Okay.
I think the stone is A-okay now.
Because obviously, not only is it doing this, it's already splitting these 2 stones.
That's right. So I'm going to ask you, are you want to cut here?
Now we're doing this thing.
Are you want to cut here? Now you can't put this off anymore. You have to let me know.
I do. Now I do have to respond.
Should I stay? Should I?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, Dan, tell us. What do you think, Dan?
I'm
Dan,
not
quick
sure
now. Dan, quick. Which is it?
I'm not sure that he has to respond. He could just give up. You willing to give up
He could.
Yeah.
something on the bottom?
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking about right now. Is if I don't play here, what can this stone do for me down here?
Yeah, what can it do?
I'm looking at
Tell me
this. I'm looking at this.
Look on, Nick.
What's the cost of that cut? Like to me, it looks like both sides of it suddenly become really weak.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a big cost. If
So-
this is weak and this is weak, that's a really big price.
Yeah.
Not only that, but I am 1 move away from capturing
Capturing,
these
yeah.
3 stones, because if he
Yeah.
connects, I play here, he plays there, I play here, he plays there, I capture them all.
Sure enough.
So, and if he play here, then if he connects, I play here, he plays there, I play here, he plays there, I play there, he plays there, I play there, I capture them all. So, this cut is severe because I am threatening to immediately capture one of these 2 cutting stones with my next move. You can't protect both, they're Miai.
Just kind of Miai.
Yeah, hey man, I think it's getting through here. This is.
But it's actually not.
Well,
okay, it's still
they're both equally and oppositely terrible for blacks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it doesn't feel like me. All right, so anyway, we're gonna.
So he's gonna connect. All right. Well,
The burden's still kind of on him. He still needs to not let all
figure
this
out how to
die.
not let all these 2 stones die. Yeah. And actually, now that I added another stone, now I really can't let those 2 stones die.
I wonder if it's better to keep this way.
I think then you let me cut.
I'll just play it. Yeah.
Because now if you
No, yeah.
now if I
Yeah,
cut,
you can't play it. Okay.
now if I cut, you play the Atari, and now it's back to the.
Yeah.
This. So I can't cut. I have to play
You have to
again.
play again. And then,
And now after you connect,
I don't like it.
I have no problems, or you have no problems. Black have no problems. I switched to me in that sentence. I'd say that I really enjoy doing all this because it's like asking people, you know, what do you think of this trick? Well, what do you think of this trick? Well, what do you think of this trick?
I responded to that.
That's an idea.
I could have done that.
That's an idea.
You see how this one works?
No, I don't.
How this fixes this guy?
Then you just get into a giant capturing race with that group.
Yes. Well, but I'm gonna cut. Are you gonna play Atari? I take these 2 stones.
No, I defend over here now.
And now I protect and I've cut.
But I don't need to defend. I have both cuts defended. I have both sides defended, and I can come back after this. So the idea is that
Sure, okay,
What?
Nick. Yeah.
they're not. Look at him shaking his head. Don't talk to me. That's the minute you need to answer.
Nah,
for.
this is-
All right. So first, here. This is. We're just gonna connect. Okay. We're just gonna go back to the game. But here the
Yeah,
problem.
let's connect and go back.
The problem is that let's say I defend something over here. So I have to fix.
Yeah.
He's gonna Atari. If I connect.
I showed him this one.
Right. You see this ladder here, right?
Yeah.
White, black.
See, but the
white,
extra
black,
stone that you're
white.
adding there
Exactly.
Precisely.
breaks that ladder.
And this stone threatens
Like
to make
Atari.
a co here.
If I just connect, well,
There's
tries
no
to make a ko, and we say it's a ko because if I
He dead.
just connect, yeah,
He
exactly.
dead. I don't need to play him.
Dead.
He dead. He's just dead.
Okay, so we
Just
were
gotta show
confronted with a situation in which he would give you two things and you can only save one of them. And so one option is to defend the immediate threat and the other was to make
Defend the
a
secondary
counter threat
threat.
so that you can protect them separately.
I'm protecting them
as well
separately,
as
not
individually.
together. Yeah.
Sure.
They each exist on their own.
Yeah.
But the benefit of me doing it this way is I get to now I get to harass something else. Right. Because he's too, busy over here. Which is also why he'd have to make a ko rather than just die.
Rather than connect. And that's why the answer is first I would cut. If he plays here, first I cut, forcing him to protect on this side. And then I come back and I fix myself on this side. That's why I would do it in that order. Right? And now the problem is that these 3 stones, I've added another stone. I've ended in gote, so he gets to turn to attacking these. Right? Right.
I think I should have played.
You should have played
I
here.
should have played
You have snatched an opportunity. Bummer, dude.
I actually thought you wouldn't fix here and play the ko. You'd have to bank the whole game on a ko.
Let's put this back.
Oh, but I want that.
Sorry. So sorry.
I want to bank the whole game on this ko.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was like the way to play this game.
Might have been. Might have been.
I only connected really because it still looks problematic for white.
So does that mean if you wanted now, you could do that same move in Sente because he would need to respond?
Yeah, but this is not nearly the value because there's no cut here.
Sure.
This stone protects these 3 stones. I've already invested 1 move protecting these 3 stones.
This is a very.
If that move is Sente, is it good to just do your
Yeah.
Sente moves in general?
Yeah, but
General,
I've
yeah.
lost some value here, and that's the really
Sure.
subtle hard part to understand.
Sure.
Like,
Timing is so hard in Go. This question is like, I've got a thing. I think it's Sente. Can I take it? I don't know. Because as we saw, I could start a ko. I could ignore it. Like if there's something even bigger, I can say, no, that's fine. I'll start a ko and ignore it. In which case, it wasn't Sente. Because it's only Sente if they answer you. If they don't answer you, it wasn't Sente. Then it was Gote, right? So, yeah. Anyway. In this case, though, I would have answered. And you just gave yourself 2 moves. Get one of them off.
Well, I guess what I was asking is if you should do it now, if it is Sente now, but maybe the answer is it's not.
The timing is, I can still do it now. But it's like now I'm playing 2 moves, where before I only need this one. If I play this one, I don't need this one.
All right, I've
I can
arrived
see
at
why
my
it would have been
plan.
better.
All right,
to
have your plan. Your plan.
This is showing
See,
the right
now he's like, I better take this right now.
Yeah, well, it's actually a little bit different. I've got some plans for what to do if he does stuff here. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on giving up these 2 stones.
Yay.
So the question for me is how do I make sure that when he takes them, it's as small as possible?
It's a good plan.
That's my plan.
It's a good plan. Ooh, let's make it bigger.
Well, you gotta make them bigger before you know what? This metaphor also is gonna have a failure to launch. Let's just move on here. Let's go with that one.
You guys see why he needs to defend?
That's a tricky one.
Because if you push, that bottom one would
Nope.
be in it.
It's a start.
Just not if you got it.
Apparently,
That's
I don't.
correct. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Chris says
you
this
can
one.
do it. You can do it. I believe
Well,
you.
that was the first thing that came to mind.
Find another one.
The cut,
Yes.
Yes.
And if white connects,
then they all go.
All
they all
4
die.
die.
Yeah.
Yes. Now we got everybody now. All right, we're good.
So he fixes.
So I fix. Now you better fix. I'll kill you. And now.
There's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. If you're gonna get them all,
I can't get one.
you can't get them all. You cannot get them all.
It's like worst case scenario, let's say he decides to give up entirely. He plays something like this.
That is really worst case.
Like worst case. And just to take this, it actually helps this link quite a bit. And he still gets, if I just defend, that's not even a good defend. If I play this, right, he still just,
They still have ways to
Comes
get
in.
in. Get
Yeah, he
into
still
the
just
defense.
comes in.
It's hard for him to build a wall all the way to the bottom to keep me out.
if he's feeling just the tiniest bit more cocky,
Adventurous.
he plays there. If he's feeling just even a little more cocky, oh, he plays there?
That's what I would. That is just filling your
Oh, okay.
thing. I
I
could
was
think
gonna
of
say
this
there,
one,
yeah.
or maybe even this one,
Yeah.
to aim at cutting this stone off.
Yeah,
these
yeah.
guys. That's an idea too.
Yeah.
That one actually looks harder for me.
It's hard. This is the hardest one, but it's also the one.
Might be the right one.
I'm pretty sure this is the one you should play.
I'm fairly sure.
But
Yeah.
you could play the less cocky ones.
You'd like that to happen, wouldn't you?
Well, you know me.
Unfortunately. Yeah, there are a lot of choices.
All right, what's your choice? They're tired.
I know, I'm sorry.
You know how tired they are. All four of them are resting their hands on their heads.
Okay, let's just get it
Or
over.
their heads on their heads.
I think you're right. This is the right
simple
one.
one.
The right one.
The crew.
Ooh, crude, out of control.
But now this is actually, I should have read this out more. So much more than we had previous.
So when there's a crosscut, there's always a lot of things to read.
Yeah. That's the problem.
Wow, this is remarkable.
Yeah.
Well, you guys took so many moves back then.
We actually haven't
Otherwise,
taken
it's a
any
game.
moves back.
You took this one.
I think we played that move.
You played it, and I said, "Are you sure? Are you?
Well, I'm thinking
Is this
about
your move? What did I say? I said, I like.
So are you committed?
Are
He
you
said
committed?
Yes.
Not
Pause
committed.
for about 20, 30 seconds.
Talking about it.
Well, luckily there's
It's a good thing this isn't on videotape, right? That's exactly
All
right.
right. No one can go back and review the tape. It's impossible. Whew. Hot damn.
Well,
All right, so I'll show you my leading candidate so far that I still have yet to make a conclusion from.
The extension.
There's 4 freaking extensions. I'm also interested in this one,
Slick.
isn't it?
Do it.
Yeah. But the problem is he just comes over the top and probably eats that stone.
Take away all that joy.
It's not joy if it doesn't work.
Well, for one of us. Did you guys all know what you were getting into tonight?
I had no
We're just
idea.
gonna like jog.
Yeah, no idea. We're just gonna play it.
I thought I was gonna get into hidden move go.
I'm sorry. We were wrong. All right.
Couldn't have so many movies show up.
Sorry, I got the last one. Yeah, that
It's
uh-oh.
not uh-oh.
It is uh-oh.
It's not really
That was an
uh-oh.
uh-oh.
It's super
I'm
dangerous.
not sure what actually.
So this makes Ko. Ko's bad. We can play here though.
That makes code. Uh-huh. Keep going. Uh-huh. And after this,
Why are you filming?
what are you gonna do?
Oh.
No,
Just,
you can
just
do
general. You don't
It's
need
not a Ko.
Sorry, you're right. Yep. Not a Ko. Never happened.
Where are you filling in? That doesn't make my co.
That's right, exactly. How dare you? I had a co otherwise.
I had a plan. I dreamed a dream.
So what are each of you aiming for in this fight? I'm having a hard time like looking at the board and understanding.
Okay. So
I don't want to die.
Focus on the original 2 cutting stones. These guys are isolated. They need to figure out how to connect. They can connect by either capturing these cutting stones or capturing this cutting stone.
Okay.
Similarly, reverse, if he catches either these 2 cutting stones, which is going to be really hard because they're well anchored now, but he could catch this cutting stone and with it the whole group. So that's what we're fighting over.
Okay.
So by tarrying here, I'm forcing him to connect these 3 stones out. If he turns to protect this cutting stone, I catch these 3.
Okay. Okay.
So he has to play here. And now when I play here, God, here. Even if he has time to play here, he'll still have to come back and play here. Right. Which is what I'm doing.
Okay. This is my sequence.
Okay, show me the sequence. I connect.
Yep. Come back.
I'm gonna play here. This is all forced. Here.
Whoa.
That's not a lot of ice space for blacks in the group in the middle.
Black scoop in the middle is
Black is
connected
connected.
through the
Oh, I
middle.
didn't see that.
Yeah.
Right.
Never mind.
There might have been a
Here are the
way
liberties.
for way to
Liberties.
play.
The end!
Yeah, this doesn't work.
So I catch the cutting stones. But he gets all the forcing moves on one side or the other. And I think he actually can, what, you can just wedge here. Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's no good.
You just have to come back though. You can Atari and then come back.
I can Atari and then come back.
Yeah. So, shenanigans? I lost the game. I lost the game. We can try shenanigans.
Alright. So what he says is if he tries to keep extending with these stones, he can't ever get more than 2 liberties. Which is why I'm going to win that race.
This is a really embarrassing mystery.
I was confused. What is diagonal this time?
I know.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nick.
I'm tired.
Next
What
time.
would have happened if you moved that for diagonal stone like two spaces up? Would that be also a disaster?
It would be a totally different sequence. That's right. It's a good idea. That's another one that would need to be read. Do you want to read it? I mean, how'd you follow?
I don't know.
Are you going to try to kill everything?
Of course.
Of course. We'll come back to that, I promise. We'll revisit that.
We must try all the things.
Go for it. Try and kill me, Nick. Oof. That's the hard one.
Yeah, diagonal is bad. Don't play diagonal moves.
Ever.
Ever. Ever. They're always.
Always play empty triangles.
Those always work.
If I could have gotten like a forcing move over here before this, I'd be just aces. It'd be just great. Just grand. What's the best way to do this? All right, you guys see what I'm trying to do? Other than just general shenanigans?
I'm going to guess no, they don't, Nick.
All right. Well, that's too bad.
It's a noble dream. Everything here is Sente for you.
Yeah, I get a
Like,
million
he's
cents
very
out of
close to
it.
being able to cut off this eye and make me have to come back here and not
Oh.
have enough. And so he's aiming to that whole sequence that we looked at the beginning.
It's back, but it doesn't do anything yet. It's tragic.
Are we keeping everybody's interest and attention? How are we doing?
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Really
I got a bit of tunnel vision. Was thinking about the group on the bottom is why I was confused. But
This-
play with the
oh,
whole
yeah,
board,
'cause
right?
they're all connected. Yeah.
Well, no, I meant the white group on
Oh.
the bottom that has plenty of eye space. I thought he was trying to kill that, which
He's
confused
going
me.
after this one.
Okay.
Because this here is essentially trying to really ensure that there's no connection top and bottom.
Gotcha.
And he's grunting and straining because it's just not there.
It's so close.
It's so close.
It's not that close. And he's like one stone here.
You were doing good.
Like one stone there, or one stone here or here. Or if I just had played that before any of this, if I just had that one move. Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe. I don't know.
I could still die.
You can't die. You're Andrew Jackson.
I'm bad at go. We've talked about it. We've covered it extensively on video. I'm bad at go. You know, you might still be winning the game, though.
I don't think so. Let's count. While he's trying to think, we'll do a quick
Count
count.
whatever passes.
First, we're gonna count in pairs. If you don't count in pairs, you're a loser.
Understood.
Shh, I'm teaching. So, if we're giving
Behold!
5.5
Instructions from above.
You're thinking. Do your job. Comey is 5.5, so White has 3 pairs. Yes. So far, so good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. White has 30 points because it's pairs, 15 pairs. Black, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20. Not so good. Not so good.
Oh, I thought you were jumping from 10 pairs to 20 pairs, just magically. No, 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 no. Okay, I got you. I got you.
So you have to kill a lot of things to win.
I do. And it's not gonna happen. But
Still not there.
anything's possible.
Not this thing.
This is a thing that's possible.
This isn't Sunday. It's also not Sunday.
I just need to find 10 points, guys. 10 points. That's all we need. It's not 10. He's still alive, right? He's not dead. You have the half eye here.
Yeah, I don't want to give up these two stones.
Oh no, you don't know. Wait, what happened?
I don't want to give up these two stones.
You.
I'm not dead yet.
Actually, you're looking more dead than I thought.
I'm not dead though.
So what I don't follow what makes him look kind of dead.
So he needs to play in a lot of places.
Have you heard of the concept of false eyes?
Yes.
Yeah. I can
False eyes,
falsify this
real
eye.
quick. If you've got, so in this case, this eye is made up by these 4 stones. There's 4 diagonal points around the orthogonal points. The simple rule of thumb is that you need to have 3 of the 4 of those points to make it a real eye. If black gets 2 of the 4, it is a false eye. So black is threatening to play here, which makes this a false eye. If he plays here, there's no eye here.
Okay.
So I need to play here, in which case he can play here and make me play here, or when I play here, he can play there, make me play here, then he cuts off those 2 stones. That's why I can clearly not choose the wine in front of him. If I play here, when he plays here, it's threatening to take this, which would be these 2 points on this eye, which would make this a false eye. So even if I play here, he can play here first and then come back and break that eye. So I can't take that one either, which means I have to play this one to be alive. If you can take either these 2 stones or these 2 stones, which 2 do you want?
Normally these 2 would be bigger, because not only do I get these 2 points, I get these 4 points as well. Or actually it'd be 4 points plus 4 points. Remember, I'm looking for 10. That's like 8.
Yeah.
Right, that's a big,
So that
big
would be
help.
good. The problem is that this group, if he plays here, I actually have a little bit of a connection
A problem where I can play Atari and then I can play here and maybe take aim at cutting off this whole thing. Remember we had this nice little table shape that I talked about? Well, now it's kind of running short of liberties and it has some, that connection is pretty graceful when there's still liberties available and there's nothing else going on. So, your call.
So
You're gonna take that one,
I'm
huh?
just gonna take that one. It's smaller, but hey, that's like, 4 points I didn't have
I
before.
want to play Atari first.
So I got a free 4 points from
Play
this.
this Atari, or it's not Atari, but play that one too.
I have captures.
And I'm gonna take these 2 off.
All right, so then we're gonna play here.
Obnoxious.
He just has to defend. He doesn't. Might double Atari and get something.
Not this one.
I'm thinking about it. See if there's anything bigger.
This one's also
I guess I should take that one first.
This again threatens, if you can play here and here, then this becomes a false side. So I have to block.
And actually, you got 2 more points over here. So even though I picked up 4 points, you gained 2 more points than I gave him credit for. So I really only gained 2 points of the 10 I'm looking for.
Bummer. Also, you can no longer cut off this stone.
Also true.
Now that you've played this.
I think we should play here first.
That's good.
Okay. I did pick up a couple extra points here too, though.
Now what the?
It's very big, and it's Sente.
Because I'm trying to take these 2 stones by playing right here. Dari. This one is Dari. And I think we're almost finally done with this game. It's a long one, man. Let's start a go!
You should feel just fine about it. Look at this, you got the biggest in the game right at the end. This move, anyone understand it?
Sorry, where did you just put? I was looking at the top.
This one. You can play this clamp later. This is like a single-digit cube question.
Yeah, they're double-digit cubes. They're almost there.
Okay.
Okay, so the idea is that if he doesn't have an eye there, then you can maybe get some.
Then I can get more down.
Yeah, because you're playing on key points that he needs to play on to make eye space.
Well, by not making this not an eye, I will actually die if I don't respond correctly back here.
Yeah.
He will eventually need to capture this anyway with a move here,
Right.
right? Otherwise, I'll eat all these because these are disconnected.
Mhm.
So this move doesn't cost me anything. Right.
I
Give
have
him a
to play
stone,
him.
and he has to play an extra stone. So that move is free. But if he doesn't have an eye here, that means he needs to have 2 eyes down here.
Right.
So I play a free move, and I get an extra move down there.
Right.
So
It's a good cover. You're very clever, Nick.
Thank you. Except that I should have used this. No, I guess I should. This is
Take
good
your
timing.
cover. That's fine. That's fine. Either way.
We're doing Japanese rules now?
Yeah, whatever.
Right.
Okay. This one.
3 to 3.
Take this one.
Understand this move?
Threatening to capture those 4 stones.
Throw
It's
it.
a throw in.
Snapback.
It's a snapback. You should throw a snapback. Have you just seen a snapback? Yeah. Couple.
Ta-da!
Then I.
It's
Right.
real fancy. It's just
Real fancy.
super fancy.
It's a fancy technique. Ah, obnoxious.
See the threat?
Not quite.
If I play here, this is a Seki. These 2 stones make an eye there that he can't take away by playing there, and it reduces all of his points to 0.
Yeah.
Is good.
So there you gave up 2 stones to take the ko. Is that, how does that math work?
I had to
out
play 2 stones in the middle,
I played 2.
Oh,
you played
right.
two.
Yeah,
so it's Atari.
Same thing here.
Same thing there. You've got 2
Gotcha.
stones inside the spectrum.
Take your co.
You got one? You're out. Oh no, you got one over here.
I got one there, I got down here.
Okay, I guess. Gosh. And I don't have a co-threat
It's not a
here
co-threat, yeah.
because it makes a co-threat for him. So
What'd you do?
just let it die.
You played a dame.
I don't have any co-threats.
I could just keep playing dame then.
Okay, keep playing Dominic. We're not counting.
If we're doing Chinese rules, you'd actually keep fighting, you'd keep taking
fighting
dame,
with the
yeah,
others.
but that's,
But that's
no, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Nothing
Don't tell him.
happened.
Nothing happened. It's never happened. Let's count this thing. Go home.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. That it? That's it? It's over!
All right, we'll fill it in. I'll give you an official count.
can I take a brief moment to say that I accomplished my plan, which was to make a bunch of little territories so that the Comey would matter a lot.
6 points for white on the board.
9 points for black on the board. Oh! Okay, fine. Keep going. 11 points for white, black on the board. I win by 1.5 points.
Wait, no, 11 to 6, right?
11 to 6.
5.5 Comey.
6.5 Comey.
5.5 Comey. You won by half a point.
Thank you.
Oh man.
That co.
That co. Oh
Just need
man,
to find
I
one
almost
more
caught
point.
up.
Just need one more point.
Wow.
Ooh, and this was a good little thing here to get that other one. Get that.
Wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough.
So the opening plan that we had, where I was like,
Let him take back one move in the game.
He lives to regret. I think I took it back.
You took it back.
You took it.
This
You will
video-
review the camera evidence later.
Wait, what did we do here? I guess you.
I didn't take it back.
Sequence.
I didn't take it back. Very notably, you didn't take it back, by the way. I was actually waiting to
But
see.
you sounded like you talked yourself into doing it. You sounded
No,
like
it was after-
no,
that was
I
after-
guess this is okay.
No, this was a bluff because you went. So here was the plan for. Here's what happened up here.
Okay, tell me.
I played a bad move,
Right. Yes. Yes.
but I tried to work it in
Uh-huh.
such that it was just one of the possible variations that we were exploring. You weren't buying it though.
I sure wasn't.
So when it came time, I wasn't taking.
You were
the
like,
lead, I
let's
was-
roll it all the way back, and I was like, oh, you've played here. I gotta bring all my tricks. After you're making me explain all of my thought process, I don't know. I mean, I don't think they gained from hearing my thought process, because I mean, I barely gained from hearing my thought process out
They were
there.
kind of zombie-ish right
They
there.
look a
Yeah.
little zombie.
But Nick gained, and we have trickle down knowledge, right?
Trickle down. All right, that'll work. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, a lot of it is you guys are so much better at reading that a lot of times your thought process
It's
ends
true.
up being like, I can see, now that you've shown me those various sequences,
I will
why
not find
that
them
was
myself.
the right move.
It
Right,
could
so
format
here-
might
here-
be playing one of us up on the board, someone who's like immune to shame, so that you can then just then you can see the common mistakes and explain it, and then they will be ones that are more at our reading ability because they're the mistakes that we're making.
Yeah.
And reading ability is super easy to get. That's the good news. Is that it is.
By no problem.
Well, reading ability, you go.
It takes work.
It takes work,
Yeah,
but
you
it's
have to
not
put in
like.
time. You have to have time.
Well, so there's things that are like easy but challenging.
Oh, I see.
Versus
Like
like
conceptually-
complicated and
yeah,
simple,
okay.
right? Like
Okay.
like calculus
I
is
see.
complicated, but it's kind of simple when you're like, well, we just break it down really small
okay.
and we add the area
I
underneath.
see.
Like simple, but it's actually very complicated. Whereas this reading, how do you get better at reading? Well, it's very simple. Right? You do go problems,
Yeah.
but that doesn't make it easy, right? So yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah. I agree with this.
Now that I've
But
Yeah.
but going back to what Chris was saying about like, oh, we play complicated variations and you can kind of see it after it's on the board, but before then, like, oh my god, like,
Yeah.
So here's right. There's 3 steps for you, right, for you to get to this. The first is absolutely correct. Just
some
put in time, do Go problems,
Right.
even easy ones, right?
Right.
Just
especially
basically
easy ones.
especially
Easy ones. They help you speed up because they help you.
The second, and this is an extension from the Go problems, is to practice making good shapes.
Yeah.
And again, I know my students often ask me like, what book should I have? What should I be studying? You know, one of the books I really like. It's not the best book in the world, but I think it's on the most important topic for you guys is making good shape.
Making good shape. I
by
really like
Rosella.
that one. Yeah.
it's one of the, hey, look at that!
Already on it.
Alex has it right there in front of him.
And if you want to do reading, Tsuji is a great one, and some of the best problem books are graded Go problems for beginners.
Yep.
Volume 3 and 4, I think.
And so step 3 though,
Yeah.
most important step, right? So you have step 1, practice
I
problems.
bet I know what this one
Number
is.
2,
Can I guess?
you can whisper in my ear. Yes! What's the answer?
Oh, play lots of games.